want to start? I'm Michael Schumacher, renowned author, and I'm going to talk today about a book that I have that's coming out in a short time. It's a collection of interviews with Allen Ginsberg, the Beat Generation poet. And these are interviews that have never been gathered into a book before. So some of them are very, very rare, and some of them are just plain interesting to me. Most of them came from very, very small publications in the 60s and 70s. Many of those publications are no longer in existence. The book has a sort of strange background to it that I find somewhat amusing. Originally, it was to be published by a press, which I won't mention the name, but they do a literary conversations series, and that's what this was supposed to be. And it went well at first. They wanted this book, and they asked me to do it, and I was happy to do it. It was a labor of love. It's a university press. You don't make big dollars on this, so you had to really want to do it, and I did. But things happened. I don't know how else to put this. That was very, very strange. I went through 3 editors on this project with the press, and the years started to pile up. Literally, I sent the manuscript in, and the years started to pile up because they would be getting a new editor, and you'd have to bring this person up to speed and work on. And to make matters even stranger, they lost the forms that I had to collect from each one of the copyright owners of these interviews so that they would have permission to reprint these interviews. So I had to go and dig these people up again and get more signed permissions. So this was kind of a mess from the beginning. And time went on. And that was the thing that happened. I should add, not to make it all, lay it all on the university's feet, I was busy. I was writing other books. And so there wasn't any real compelling reason for me to chase this one around. I was writing books that were actually paying me a living, as opposed to putting together one that wasn't going to give me much anything. So a lot of this was my own doing, I will add, the length of time that this thing took to get published. But I finally found a publisher, and it was quite an interesting little event in that respect. I was having lunch with my editor, and I just mentioned this book in passing. And he says, you know, that sounds like something we could use. That sounds like a good book for us. And so we talked about it, and sure enough, it worked out for them. They also have reprinted, I might add, my Allen Ginsberg biography, I'm a Lion, and they are reprinting, will be out next year, my biography of Phil Oakes, the folk singer and political activist. So they and I are on the same page. This isn't a big money thing in terms of trying to make a living. It works real well for everybody. And so we put it all together. Now, there's a little postscript to this story I probably should mention. Is I heard from someone about the previous university's book. They had given me all the rights back, so everything's clear and fine. But it appears that the university is now putting it out anyway with a different editor. And so I find that somewhat amusing, that after all of that time and all that work and everything, it's going to come out anyway. I don't have any idea what all is going to be in this book. It's really none of my concern. Mine will be out first, and frankly, folks, I think this is a really, really good book. I'm as proud of this as I am of almost anything I've been involved in. It doesn't happen very often, where at the end of a project, you're not totally tired of it. You get tired of a project after working on it for some years. This one I'm still very, very enthusiastic about, and I think it's kind of funny. It has this strange backstory to it. For anybody that likes Allen Ginsberg, this certainly takes it on every single facet of his career. There's discussion of his photography, of his music. Of course, there's the discussion about his life and his work. And he's very, very good in them, and I'm just so very pleased to be a part of this. So I guess that's all for today, folks. We'll do this again.